What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Boston Celtics. This is the second matchup between the two teams this season, and of course, the Bulls outed the Celtics in the first game. So, this was a home game for the Celtics, and honestly, the way the game opened up, I wasn't upset with how the Bulls played. You seen defensively they were ramped up early, and that's what you need to do against a team like the Celtics. The Bulls got into their early offense, a lot of cutting, giving Vooch the ball in the post. They were hitting a lot of threes and getting to the paint and getting a lot of transition points early. You saw DeMar DeRozan play aggressive after that 9-point outing in the Bulls' last game in the win versus the Hornets, but he came out really aggressive and was looking to get his shot off very, very early in the game. I believe at some point in the first quarter he had more points than he had the entire game versus the Hornets. So that was a good way to start the game. But you seen early that Jason Tatum was going to be a problem. Jaylen Brown was on the injury report earlier as far as like not playing, but he did eventually play tonight. But at early parts of tonight's game, you saw that Jason Tatum was definitely going to be a problem. He was forcing his way to the rim. He was getting up shots. He was getting to his spots, hitting open jumpers, and pretty much whoever that Billy Donovan decided to go and guard Jason Tatum, I'm not going to say he had his way tonight, but he was able to, get himself going, so to speak, in the early parts of the game. But even when, the Celtics were, fighting back in that first quarter and giving the Bulls basically a run for their money, the Bulls did end up being up 5 after the first and shooting 50% from the field. So, of course, the Bulls I always say this, create good habits. And you don't want to, especially versus a team like the Celtics, who definitely, are going to be there at some point later on in the season. And if you're Chicago, you want to create good habits versus the better teams of the league. Especially when last season, when the Bulls played the better teams of the league, it just didn't look good at all. It looked like they couldn't compete. It's still early in the season, but at least the Bulls are showing that they're able to compete with these teams of the, better teams of the Eastern Conference and of the league. So as the second quarter began, the Bulls, they started being a little rocky defensively. Like the second unit, I believe the second unit was out there at times with, I think the pairings was different. I think the second unit was out there, and then Billy would throw in like a Vucevic, and then Billy would throw in, he'll take Vucevic off the floor. Then he'll add in DeRozan with the second unit, then he'll take off DeRozan. Then he'll throw Zach in with the second unit. But the second unit didn't have that punch that, with Kobe out and with Andre Drummond out, you lose out on, size and on the inside with Drummond, and you lose that shooting with Kobe. So in the second quarter, you seen that the Celtics found their stride, and Malcolm Brogdon started getting to the rim a lot. When I say a lot, every time Malcolm Brogdon got the ball, and I noticed he had 2 plays specifically when he went to the rim, got an and one. The next time he got the ball, he went to the rim and got an and one again. And before you knew it, the Bulls were down in the game. And Malcolm Brogdon had a hell of a night. I say that to his credit, but also to the dismay of what the Bulls were able to do defensively versus him. He's not the best mid-range and three-point shooter, and for him to be able to get to the rim, that was a problem all game long for Chicago. That was a problem with defending Malcolm Brogdon. The Celtics play a much, much better second quarter. The Bulls give up 37 points in the second quarter, and that's a problem, even no matter who you play. I mean, it could have been the Detroit Pistons. It could have been any team in the league. Giving up 37 points is a problem. You cannot play great NBA basketball and give up 37 points in a quarter. That is going to be an Achilles heel no matter what team or who you are. For me, honestly, in the second, all right, now, when it came to DeMar DeRozan, again, like I said, he had a great first half, 19 points in a half. The second half, the Celtics start the half running and getting to the rim. I think tonight showed that when you don't have, I said this in a few videos prior to this, but when you don't have perimeter defenders, yes, you have athleticism with DeRozan and Zach LaVine, but they're not the best on-ball perimeter defenders. You don't have your best on-ball defender because he's injured, and that's Lonzo Ball. Alex Caruso can only do but so much. He's only one person. And Vucevic is an okay rim protector. He can rebound, but he's not out there giving you 2.5, 3 blocks a game. You know, Javonte Green was out there tonight, and so was Derrick Jones Jr. But it was at times where I didn't feel like they were making an impact in tonight's game. Even though Green did hit a few timely threes. You know, what happened in the third quarter especially was you seen the trend of the Bulls starting to turn the ball over. You cannot turn the ball over against a team of the caliber of the Celtics. They have too many guys that know how to win games. The Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Al Horford. These guys know how to actually win games, and when you turn the ball over and you give them an opportunity to get points off of turnovers, that gives you the least chance to win the game and come out on the winning end. So, the fourth quarter, you know, it was pretty much the same. A lot of turnovers, but even though the Bulls were down and trying to find their ways into the game, you seen them scratching and clawing to, you know, not only come back into the game, but come back and give themselves an opportunity. Big shots by DeMar DeRozan. Big shots by Nikola Vucevic. Big shots by Javonte Green. Just you saw that. One key component to tonight, I felt like Zach LaVine wasn't aggressive enough. I don't know if it was the defense from Jaylen Brown. I don't know if it was the defense from Marcus Smart, but I felt like he wasn't aggressive enough tonight. I'm going to talk about that in the box score. But I felt like ultimately you did not get a great outing from Zach LaVine tonight. DeMar DeRozan played very, very well tonight, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. The Chicago Bulls ended up losing tonight's game to the Boston Celtics, and the final score of tonight's game was 123-119. The Bulls fall, and now, you know, coming off a win in their last game to the Hornets, but losing tonight, they do have their next matchup is against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I believe that's on Sunday, and that's a pretty early tip-off Sunday game. It's at 6 p.m., but I'm not worried, you know, about the Bulls losing tonight. I'm not stressed about this win. This win showed me that they can gut out games. But again, when you go up against the better talent of the league, you want to give yourself a better chance. And that's what, like I said, with turning the ball over. So in tonight's game, the Bulls were out-rebounded by 6, 49-43. Assist, the Celtics had 24. Chicago Bulls had 21. Steals, the Bulls had 8. The Celtics had 5. Again, it wasn't the fact that the Celtics were ramping up as far as like stealing the ball and things like that. The Bulls were doing a lot of self-inflicted wounds to turn the ball over, too many quick passes, guys cutting and being out of bounds and things like that, self-inflicted wounds. And you can't do that. Like, these are unforced errors, and you can't do things like that playing a team of this magnitude. Block shots, you had the Celtics with 7, the Bulls with 5. Turnovers, the Bulls had 17, the Celtics had 13. Field goal percentage, the Bulls shot really well at 51.8% tonight. The Celtics went 49.4% from the field. 3-point percentage, listen, the Bulls damn near shot 40% from 3 tonight. What more can you ask for? Again, this is self-inflicted wounds. As far as free throws go, I believe Jason Tatum I think he shot the most this evening, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had the most, but the game high went to DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan had 46 points. So tonight was mainly a lot of self-inflicted wounds. I feel like at moments of tonight's game, the Bulls could have won, but they came out on the losing end tonight, and that's okay. They have a long way to go. We're 10 games into the season, and you bounce back, come back on Sunday, but you have to face a really, really, really good Cleveland Cavalier team. So we'll talk about that game when it gets here Sunday. Tune in. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. As always, it's greatly appreciated when you guys tune in, listen, and watch. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.